Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
And the big warm-up starts today. Temperatures close to 80 degrees. I'll show you why it's such a big change.
Deputies attacked. Today, the man accused of hurting 3 Orange County law enforcement officers is due in court. What may have sparked this violence?
Spring break travel. Today is the last day of class for many Wake County students before vacation. How the economy will affect this year's trips for families.
And next up, Elite 8. Their Sweet 16 game ended after midnight, and Arizona gave them a big challenge in the end. But now Duke is just 3 wins away from a national championship. 3 tough, hard wins, just making that Elite 8. Getting past this weekend, it's all part of the dream. And boy, it's going to feel like spring break starting now today. I'm Jeff Hogan. Good to have you with us.
And I'm Renee Chu. Yeah, we've got our spring break weather right here. No need to travel when we're going to warm up into the 80s. But Elizabeth, we're starting off still on the chilly side.
We are, but a lot warmer than it was yesterday. We take a live look at North Hills. It is cloudy out there this morning, so the sunrise may not be quite as beautiful, but once we get past lunchtime, we're going to see plenty of sunshine. It's a southerly wind that is changing everything for us, making the temperatures so much warmer. We were solidly in the 30s yesterday, and now we are in the 50s. So we take a look at temperatures: 54 in Roxborough, 47 in Rocky Mount, 55 in Raleigh, 50 degrees in Southern Pines. There's some 40s on the map as well, but in general, temperatures are anywhere between 10 and 15, and in some places like Roxborough, 22 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Definitely a warmer afternoon as well. We stayed in the 60s yesterday. We climbed to almost 80 degrees. Still watching the weekend closely. There'll be some showers and possibly thunderstorms for early next week. We'll go over that coming up.
At about 2:30 this morning, there were police and they cleared the scene of a shooting that left a woman in critical condition. Now, that shooting happened on Cantwell Court. It's just off North Raleigh Boulevard. Officers swarmed into that scene after the report of a shooting just before 8 last night. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there as they searched that area for evidence. Police have not announced an arrest, but they say they have questioned a possible suspect in the case. We are working to learn more about what led up to that shooting.
Today, a man accused of severely injuring 3 Orange County deputies is due in court. The sheriff's office says Jorge Luis Lopez Duran attacked the deputies when they confronted him over a string of neighborhood crimes. A neighbor shared a video of a man authorities say is Lopez Duran pulling a grill away off a porch. Other neighbors say the man was throwing rocks at homes and damaging AC units. When deputies arrived, the sheriff says Lopez Duran punched, kicked, and bit them. At least 2 of the deputies who were hurt are now out of the hospital. The sheriff says Lopez Duran was likely under the influence of drugs, specifically meth. He is in jail without bond.
Today's the last day of class for a lot of Wake County students before spring break, and families will find their vacation travel more expensive this year. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live in Raleigh this morning. Kelsey, one place families may be able to catch a break is at the gas pump.
Yes, Jeff, new numbers released from AAA within the last 5 minutes. They say the average price of gas here in North Carolina is about $2.87 a gallon. So gas here at this Sheets on Tryon Road is a little bit more than that. It's at about $2.99 a gallon. But your family will be paying less at the pump this year for your spring break trip compared to last year. AAA says gas prices are 30 to 40 cents cheaper this year compared to the same time last year. Their data shows 25% of North Carolinians are traveling for spring break, and even though gas prices are down, the overall cost of your trip will be up.
As a whole, it's going to cost you a little bit more to spring break this time this year. Hotels are up, airfare's up, lodging is up, rental cars are about the same.
AAA is reporting that gas prices are down from last year, but they have been on an upward trend for the past couple of weeks. So if you want more information about the cheapest gas prices in our area, go to WRAL.com and search Fuel Tracker. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Next up for Duke, the Elite 8. In a game that ended around 12:30 this morning, the Blue Devils took down Arizona in the Sweet 16. Final score 100-93. 30 of those points from Duke star Cooper Flagg.
After the first 2 games, I knew we had this.
Duke fans at Raleigh's My Way Tavern had plenty to cheer about as the game progressed. Duke led by as many as 19 in the second half. Arizona made it close down the stretch, but their comeback wasn't enough. Duke moves on to play Alabama in the Elite Eight tomorrow night. Coming up in 10 minutes, we check in with WRAL's Chris Lee in Newark. He'll break down how this close win helped the Blue Devils get battle tested for more tough competition ahead in the champion stretch.
It is a big day for women's basketball fans in the Triangle as well. All three local teams will be playing in the Sweet 16, with Duke and UNC squaring off in Birmingham, Alabama this afternoon. Tonight, NC State takes on LSU. That's in Spokane, Washington. WRAL's Monica Casey is in Birmingham. She shows us what we can expect from this Triangle trifecta.
It's win or go home for all of our Triangle teams in the Sweet 16, but for Duke and UNC, a win means knocking their biggest rival out of the big dance.
I feel like the atmosphere is going to be great. I think we're going to have to kind of give our own energy, in a way, just because, it's neutral sighting. And, we're going to be trying to bouncing off each other's energy.
Duke is a 2 seed in this tournament, coming off wins over Lehigh and Oregon to make it to Birmingham.
I think there is a different flavor because Duke Carolina is the best rivalry in college basketball. So I feel like just a little bit more comes with that rivalry.
UNC is a 3 seed. They defeated Oregon State and West Virginia to make it to the Sweet 16. It's the first time in NCAA women's tournament history we've had a battle of the Blues, and this game is a tiebreaker after each team beat the other at home earlier this season. Further west in Spokane, 2 seed NC State takes on 3 seed LSU. That's at 7:30 Eastern Time. The Wolfpack women decisively won their first and second round games against Vermont and Michigan State. In Birmingham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
WRAL is in Birmingham as Duke and UNC battle for that spot in the Elite Eight. You can watch WRAL News from 4 to 7:30 this evening for updates and a live report after that game, as well as a look ahead to NC State's game tonight.
Firefighters in South Carolina are working to put out 2 wildfires spanning thousands of acres. The Table Rock fire has spread over 8,600 acres. That includes up to the North Carolina state line in some places. There is no reported containment yet. Crews say they expect lines on the eastern and southern ends of the fire to hold. Authorities say the fire was started by 4 teenagers and charges are pending. To its east, the Persimmon Ridge fire is up to nearly 2,000 acres burned. Crews are also not reporting any containment on that fire.
Tonight and tomorrow night, drivers in Clayton will need to navigate ramp closures at a major interchange. Ramps to I-40 West and I-42 East off Triangle Expressway will be closed from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. tomorrow. The same closure will be in place tomorrow night into Sunday morning. The ramp from I-42 West to I-40 West will close starting at midnight each night, and crews are working on all the bridges there. Detours will be posted for you.
Your time is 4:38 here in the WRAL Live Center with a breaking update coming out of Thailand right now. Just very hard images to see there. This building collapsed after a 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit overnight. This is coming from the U.S. Geological Survey with those numbers. And this actually sent tremors all across Thailand, even being felt in neighboring Chinese provinces. At least 1 person was killed and 50 others were injured after a high-rise building collapsed in Bangkok's capital after this quake, according to authorities there in Thailand. Myanmar was hit with a strong aftershock with about a 6.4 magnitude aftershock 12 minutes after the initial quake. I'm going to keep watching that this morning to see if that death toll continues to rise this morning, but it's just sad to see this building collapse in Thailand. You can just see the magnitude, the strength of that earthquake that affected that country.
It is terrible, Chris. Thank you. The state auditor's office found more than $45 million in financial reporting errors at North Carolina Central University. This was between 2023 and 24. The report says the school's financial reporting was grossly inaccurate. NCCU's new chancellor, Kerry Dixon, says the university has made changes to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Bracing for tariffs. Auto dealerships are preparing for higher costs as new restrictions on imports go into place. How much of that could be passed on to you?
And relief for renters, the downward trend we're seeing in the monthly cost for a place to live in Raleigh.
It's going to be breezy and much warmer today as we wrap up the work week and head into the weekend. This is a live look at Durham at the Lucky Strike Tower. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is back after the break with when we can expect our next round of rain.
.43, taking a look outside right now through downtown Raleigh. You might be able to tell that the skies are cloudy. It just looks a little bit gray there as we take a look down Fayetteville Street. So some clouds to begin with this morning. That is helping to keep our temperatures a little warmer. The big thing is that we've had the wind shift to southerly, and so that's pushing the warm air in. 55 in Durham, 54 in Roxborough, 52 in Cary. These temperatures are easily 15 and in some cases 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. We do see an afternoon warm up as well. High temperatures almost at 80 degrees. But the warm, quiet conditions mean the pollen counts are just going to continue to go up. So do keep that in mind. That's going to be the case, for the next month. We also have high fire danger again today with the chance of some breezy conditions. Look at these temperatures. We hit almost 80 degrees this afternoon. We'll talk about a chance of rain to wrap up the weekend coming up.
Elizabeth, thanks. Dealerships are bracing for higher prices as new tariffs on imported cars and auto parts expected to go into effect in just a few days. President Trump announced a 25% tariff on imported cars and auto parts. Goldman Sachs estimates the tariffs could add $5,000 to $15,000 to the price of foreign-made cars, and an additional $3,000 to $8,000 on cars made in the U.S. because of import taxes on parts. Canada's prime minister sees the auto tax as an attack on their economy and says the U.S. is no longer a reliable partner.
We have a heartbreaking update to a story we brought you just yesterday morning. 4-year-old Timothy Stamatis died yesterday, less than 24 hours after fire and police departments in Edgecombe County held a parade for him. Timothy had been suffering from a form of kidney cancer. When doctors gave him just days to live, his grandfather organized a parade in his honor in Pine Tops. We are glad Timothy got to see that tremendous show of love and support from so many people, but so sad.
Well, our hearts go out to his family. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is announcing an additional 10,000 jobs will be cut.
We're keenly focused on paring away excess administrators while increasing the number of scientists and frontline health providers.
The cuts include 3,500 employees at the FDA and 2,400 at the CDC. This all on top of the 10,000 other workers sent home as part of Elon Musk's DOGE efforts. In total, a quarter of the Health and Human Services workforce has been removed. Slight relief for renters in Raleigh. The median price of a one-bedroom fell about 1.5% this month. It's now about $1,250. That's according to a new report from Zumper. 2-bedroom units in Raleigh also fell. They cost $1,550 per month. Those prices are below national numbers.
Duke is on its way to the Elite Eight. The Blue Devils took care of business in their Sweet 16 game against Arizona, which ended just before 12:30 this morning. WRAL's Chris Lee is in Newark, New Jersey, where the Wildcats in the end pushed Duke to the limit.
We're not accustomed to seeing Duke play in many close games this season. On Thursday night, the Arizona Wildcats tried their best to turn Duke's Sweet 16 into a sour exit, but the Blue Devils never wavered and they advanced 100-93. Cooper Flagg was the big-time player he was supposed to be, scoring 30 points and dishing out a season-high 7 assists. But it wasn't just his stats. It was his passion and leadership that led the way for Duke. And now this team that averaged beating opponents by just over 21 points in the regular season became battle-tested in just their 6th single-digit win this season.
Last weekend we didn't really get a close game. The week before we had a bunch of close ones. It's good to get more close ones. It's the tournament. They're probably going to be close the rest of the way.
I feel like we needed this game too. It's not going to be easy from now onwards, and we know that, and we embrace that. So we go in every game with the same mentality.
Now the only thing between the Duke Blue Devils and the Final Four is the Alabama Crimson Tide. They will play them right here in Newark, New Jersey on Saturday night at 8:49 p.m. I'm Chris Lee, WRAL Sports.
All right, that's March Madness for you. And then March Madness, weather-wise, we're swinging our temperatures the other way and getting a nice warm-up today.
Yeah, yesterday was chilly, and today we see our wind shift to southerly, and that makes all the difference. But we also are looking at some cloud cover out there. You might be able to tell, certainly in a couple of hours when the sun comes up, you'll see the clouds. The clouds won't be with us all day. They'll last until around lunchtime or so, and then a real pretty afternoon in our forecast. But it is cloudy this morning here in downtown Raleigh. 55 is the temperature. We had widespread 30s yesterday, so our temperatures are much, much warmer today. Again, two reasons for that. One, that southerly flow, and two, the clouds. The clouds tend to hold in any daytime heating, acting like a blanket, like an insulating blanket. A few places still in the 40s this morning, 49 Fayetteville, 47 Rocky Mount, 46 in South Hill, but elsewhere temperatures are in the low to mid 50s, and we see widespread 50s here in the Triangle. Apex at 51, 52 in Cary, 51 Wake Forest, 53 degrees in Garner. So it's a mild start out there this morning. You don't need a big puffy coat. A jacket should be fine. And you can send the kids out with their shorts and t-shirts and a jacket. They should be fine. Pretty sunset yesterday. Jim Barrett sent us this from Lewisburg. You can see the clouds starting to fill in. And again, we are beginning with a gray start this morning. Go to WRAL.com/report it. Send us your photos. We'd love to see them. A nice warm afternoon. 79 in Raleigh, 78 in Durham, 81 in Fayetteville. These temperatures will be about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday because that switch in our wind. Yesterday, the wind was coming out of the northwest and it was cool. You see the red arrows pulling that warmth in for today, and you can watch it move in too as we take a look at the difference in temperature. So temperatures close to normal for this morning, and then as we get through the next couple of days, we really see those darker colors moving in, the yellows and the reds, and so that's indicating a warm up. 67 is our normal high, 81 Saturday, 79 Sunday, and then a little bit cooler for the middle of next week. A lot of folks hitting the road for spring break travel. I know some school systems are off. Today and tomorrow, travel weather looks fantastic. Sunday, some showers in the western part of the state and a few here as well. And then we have storms likely on Monday. We're going to take a closer look at that coming up in just a little bit. We'll talk about when we could see some rain on Sunday and our severe threat for Monday. Right now, it looks dry for the Durham Bulls home opener.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Hunting for eggs, how you and your kids can get an early taste of Easter fun today, right here in Raleigh.
And in the next half hour, hiring freeze. Durham Public Schools is putting a pause on filling positions. What's behind this move and how it could affect your child's education.
.453 is the time right now, so we give you this live look in Lewisburg. Good morning to you. We're getting mild temperatures, maybe a little cool off before we get that sunrise, and then we're going to shoot right up into the 70s today. It's going to be great as we head towards your weekend. Recalls from many sources. WRAL 5 on your side tracks them all this month and highlights some of the biggest ones you may have missed. Keely Arthur shows us the critical recalls in March you need to know about.
About 2,300 bottles of liquid Benadryl are not in child-resistant packaging that could be poisonous to young kids if swallowed. The recall applies to certain bottles sold on Amazon from July 2023 through October 2024. And this dresser, sold at Walmart, violates federal tip-over standards. The 10-drawer dressers are unstable if they're not anchored to a wall and could seriously injure or kill a child if it fell on them. If you bought one of these, you can get a full refund. Next, 2 types of coffee creamer have been recalled after complaints they made people sick. This recall applies to International Delights Hazelnut and Cinnabon Classic Cinnamon Roll flavors. Affected bottles have a best buy date of either July 2nd or 3rd. Someone reportedly choked on wood-like material inside a frozen dinner. 3 types of Lean Cuisine frozen meals and Stouffer's party-sized chicken lasagna are being recalled because they may have that wood-like material in them. All were sold September 2024. And finally, Cybex is recalling infant car seats because the harness may not properly restrain children. The Aton G and Aton G swivel have an anchor pin that can come loose, allowing the harness straps to detach. All owners of these seats will get a free remedy kit. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Today, you can take the kids out for an egg hunt in Raleigh. Pullen Park will be hosting the Hoppiest Egg Hunt this morning from 10 to 11:30. The event is free for children up to 5 years old. Happy egg hunting.
NHL playoffs are right around the corner, and you can watch Carolina Hurricanes against the top team in the league, the Washington Capitals, right here on WRAL next week. Their superstar Alex Ovechkin will be skating in here on a mission. He needs just 6 more goals to break Wayne Gretzky's all-time record. Hurricanes defense will be saying, not on our watch. You can watch that game Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, right here on WRAL.
Cost of spring break. Vacation time is almost here for most Wake County students. Why families will need to pay a little more for their trips this year.
A historic battle of the Blues today. Duke and UNC hit the court with a spot in the Women's Elite Eight on the line. What you need to know about this game and NC State's chance to make the next round as well.
And it feels mild out there. Warmer than yesterday morning, and it's going to be much warmer later. This is a live look at North Hills. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. She'll break down when we will be in the 80s again and when rain is in our forecast.